Good evening and welcome back to the 8 p.m. Debrief Cookout.
Oh gosh, Black, let's get into that one because on the topic of smoke, this guy can go on the barbecue grill.
We're here to talk about Fernando Alonso and his coming together with Lewis Hamilton. He suggested that Lewis could only win from the front, forgetting the fact that Lewis, I think, has 42 wins from not pole position, meaning that's, I think, 10 more than Alonso has secured in his entire career.
Uncle ALONSLOW has no shame. That man has no shame. Imagine getting absolutely dismantled by Esteban Ocon. Esteban, as Martin Brundle once said on the grid walk. But it's nice to know that Alonso still lives in Lewis's mind, or more the other way around, Lewis still lives in Alonso's mind rent-free. Because the way Alonso moves, that guy has PTSD from 2007. I think he should get some therapy for that.
What an embarrassment. I mean, yeah, so I'm probably going to lose some followers by saying, Alonso was not obliged to back out. I knew as soon as you kind of see the start, they go through La Source, you can see Hamilton's that perfect distance behind Alonso through Eau Rouge. You're like, okay, so Alonso's going to park it on the inside down the straight, and Hamilton's going to have to go the hard way round. And you knew Alonso wasn't going to back out.
Telling you, man. I'm telling you, they're going backwards instead of forwards, man. It's like they might as well make a spin-off movie of Back to the Future because they're just going back. I mean, where do I even start with it, F1 Black, man? I mean, I tell you, they wasted the set of soft tires for Charles Leclerc in the qualifying, or so I say Chuck Leclerc. Then, they unnecessarily took that risk by trying to box my guy Charles for the fastest lap. All he did was the fastest lap through the pits as he got a speeding penalty. Carlita, they did him dirty. Absolutely shocking, man. They didn't even go up to go and celebrate with my boy. My boy got left back like Luke Shaw. Like, it was unbelievable, man. I just don't know F1 Black. Looks like the technical directives really hit them in terms of the pace. And the only positive I gotta say, man, is at least the communication was better. I mean, it was like a two-way thing going back and forth between the engineer and Charles. Somebody said that in Zandvoort, the Ferrari strategies, they're going to be sending Charles Leclerc a questionnaire to fill out when he's driving next time. All these questions.
When I heard him saying, like, what tires are these when he was in Q3, it's like, yeah, I think 2022's done. I think Max has won his first title. What do you think, Chimney? Do you think this sews it up for Max?
Man, of course it does, man. They gave Max the open goal in football.
Yeah, I think it's over. I think Ferrari have made it, cooking Ferrari at this point, it feels like it's a charcoal, like you've actually overburned them. It's just so regular that they make, and definitely at some point, go on.
Man, F1 Black, like, we roast Ferrari so much on this channel, they're not even cigarette no more. They're just resin. The smiling honey badger, he's not smiling no more, boy. It's looking all sad for him. He's looking like a lonely kangaroo during the mating season because he ain't got nobody. Ricardo helmet sucks, man. It looks like it was designed by some hippies on some bad acid, dude. And then don't even let me get you started on what my boy Uncle Cyril said. Uncle Cyril said that it wasn't going to be the right move for him, and he just bunny hopped himself out of the supporting team. So, when I look at Daniel Ricciardo, man, the evil villain aside of me, because I am Mr. Chimney today. Firstly of all, he tried to duck out from Max Verstappen at the Red Bullies. Then he was at Renault, just like I mentioned as well, and then he dipped. And then he was gone to McLaren, and now he's getting dipped in sauce by Lando Norris. Trying to train a bear to ride a bike. Man, it could probably be done, but the time it takes, McLaren just don't have. Because, you look at the championship, they're losing out to Alpine in the constructors, and they can't afford to go even more back, man. So they had no other option. They had to get rid of my boy Danny Rick. Man, I just think Daniel Ricciardo should just like hang up his boots personally, and I think he should do some NASCAR or something like that, man. It'd be good to see him driving on ovals with Kimi and damn guys there.
They're at the very top of the sport. They find a way to either make a team work for them or leave on their own terms. And Ricciardo, you know, he took a while to settle into Renault, and yeah, okay, beat Ocon, who'd been out of the sport for a year or two. He beat Hulkenberg, who, you know, in terms of his career trajectory was on the way down. You know, so he's perhaps favorable comparison. He came to McLaren, and sure, I don't trust Lando Norris as far as I could throw him, and he's a small guy, so I'm sure I could throw him a long way. Did you pick up your +44 duffel? Did you manage to get any of that?
Yeah, man, I think, you know, it's probably a good marketing ploy by Lewis Hamilton, and it worked to great success because it got everybody talking about his new merchandise. But personally, I did feel sorry for the people. You know me, F1 Black, I'm a man of the people first. And I think that, you know, the way that they were letting people in and then kicking people out, you know, a couple people in, a couple people out, sounds a bit like McLaren. Them shipping costs, they were astronomical, boy. I'm telling you, everybody's financial situation is a bit different. So my final word in this one, Black, is I feel that, you know, like everybody's financial situation is different. Nobody should feel less of a fan of Lewis if they can't afford or if they can't justify spending that amount of money on the shipping, because the shipping, oh boy, let me tell you, it was more than Alpine's budget next year. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I'm definitely not the guy to talk about merch, because the last merch I bought was bought for me by my mum in about 1998 at the Italian Grand Prix.
You're still styling, Black. You're still styling.
Well, doesn't fit my
looking
large cranium.
Man, you're still looking like a young Louis Theroux. F1 Black, the Mercedes engineers need to ship their ass back to the factory because that W13 is trash.
It just feels so forlorn to be 1.8 seconds off of a guy that did one run in Q3. So yeah, Mercedes working hard, I'm sure they are, but maybe the concept underlying it is flawed. Yeah, to go from pole to 1.8 seconds off, Mercedes probably need to look in the mirror. If they're doing this sort of in a, not purposely, but if they're focusing all their money on next year, I get it. But these guys need to be cooked as well. It's not good enough, and I know that Lewis was sort of saying things through the weekend, and George as well. You know, we're Mercedes, is not where we want to be. Let's not forget they were out-qualified by both Alpines, and that whole issue with Alonso would not have happened if the car just had the performance on a Saturday, let alone a Sunday.
Shout out to the boys. Shout out Mike Fowler. You know, he's just there. You know, his sarcasm and, you know, his sense of humor. It's a bit limited for me personally, but, you know, goddamn fast driver. So I definitely gotta give Mike Fowler his shout out. Even after they got punted and after they lost 2 minutes in the garage with the damage, and then they came out. And then they were chasing for second and third place. And then they were in first place again. And then they took avoiding accident when, you know, like another LMP1 missile was trying to lock on to the target. And AMG Denz avoided him. But he hit the curb. So he got next minute of damage.
Trying to keep his composure. But, you know, all these cars basically using him as a braking zone. And, you know, it can't have been easy. So I hope that guy's mental state's okay. You know, I hope maybe by next week he'll be back to normal.
I had a look at the delivery of the car, and man, that Porsche, it was looking nice, man. That Porsche made me want a new daughter.